Hello, Busters, and welcome to this edition of the President's Desk. As always, just a chance to be able to visit with some of our employees, get to know them a little bit differently on a different level. This week, very excited to be able to have our campus health nurse, Trish Miller, with us. Welcome, Trish.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. No, it's great to be able to have you here, and I know this entire year has really been it's been a fast one there for you, just with a lot of the changes and adaptations that you've had to make to your schedule. So on behalf of everybody at the college, we appreciate all you do.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yes.
So, as we go through these president's desks, it truly is just a chance to kind of learn a little bit more about employees and really just the great things that are going on at Garden City Community College and really the individuals that are behind the scenes doing a lot of the great work. And you are absolutely in that category. But talk to us a little bit about your background and really what has led you into becoming a nurse and working in the nursing profession.
Okay. Well, I grew up here. I grew up on a farm with 6 siblings, and went to school at Pierceville Plymale and until 6th grade, and went to Abe Hubert Junior High, and then graduated from Garden City High School in 1979.
Wow.
After that, I went to Garden City Community College and graduated here at Garden City Community College, and after that I went to Wichita State University and got my bachelor's in nursing. At the time, there was some changes going on in medicine and DRGs, and that was a new way of insurance companies getting reimbursement for procedures.
Right.
At that time, it was difficult to find a job, and so I was going to stay in Wichita, but when I would come home in the summers, I worked at St. Catherine Hospital. I thought, well, I'll just go home.
Right.
And I went home, and it was good because I came home in May, got a job at St. Catherine, and some of the students I went to school with that stayed got laid off about 3 months later after we started. So it was a strange time in a nursing career because that usually doesn't happen.
Right.
So I just continued to work at St. Catherine, and my career grew up at St. Catherine Hospital. I worked several places. I worked in newborn intensive care, med-surg, that sort of thing, and then I moved over to the outpatient services, ambulatory setting, and was able to get a lot of different experience, and that's where most of my experience is from. The clinics, I worked at Sienna and all the different, at that time it was Garden Medical Clinic.
Right.
Now it's Sienna, and worked in a lot of different specialties and primary care, family practice, that sort of thing. And then in 2014, I decided I wanted to do something a little different, and definitely different it is, because you're coming from a place where the focus is medicine,
Right.
to an education setting was definitely different. Anyway, that's my story, and I have 2 children. My husband is Ross, and we have 2 children, Stephen and Alex,
Very
who
good.
graduated from K-State.
What would you say is the best thing about working at Garden City Community College? You've had experiences in a lot of different environments and at St. Catherine's and different things, but specifically here about the college, what's the best thing about working at the college, and maybe what's the proudest moments you've had?
I would say that the relationships that you build, and not only with the students and the employees, but the community. We've developed some really strong relationships with some entities that have helped us so much. We continue to have a relationship with St. Catherine Hospital, Sienna Medical Clinic, our medical director, Dr. Rosine, Finney County Health Department, Genesis, Family Crisis. I've learned a lot from each of those entities, and appreciate the support that they give us, because we couldn't do it without them.
Talk a little bit about really just what had transpired and some of the things that went into place with the planning to be able to get to where the college was able to open and have services available there for students as we came into this fall semester.
Well, a year ago, gosh, that seems like a long time ago, but it's not that long ago. And I think back on it, and I was scared to death. You know, I think not knowing where we were headed, what was going on, what was the expectations, that sort of thing. But I think everyone was in the same boat.
Right.
And we learned along the way what we thought would happen. We'd have to take 2 steps back the next day and try
Right.
something else because things were changing all the time. We worked from home for a while, but we were constantly in meetings and watching the KDHE and talking to Finney County Health Department to find out what expectations there might be.
Right.
We had a lot of meetings going on with facilities, with athletics, trying to know what the expectations were going to be, what were going to be required of us, and met with administration and all the different partners and departments on campus that were going to have a role in that. Residential Life came up with some places for the students to stay if they ended up with a positive case, that sort of thing. So there was a lot of planning and a lot of unknowns, but it fell together. Genesis came forward and was able to do our testing. Finney County Health Department gave us guidance. We have them on speed dial.
Right.
So that sort of thing. It was a lot of unknowns, and we still meet every week to try to, or more often, whenever needed, to try to stay on top of what's going to happen and what we think is going to happen and what is going to be expected of us. So.
Talk to us a little bit, I mean, as far as planning and things that you have in mind for how we could continue to move things forward there for the college, for students, for employees. Things that you have planned, things that you kind of foresee in health services as we go forward?
Okay. In College Health, we've not only partnered along the way with the entities that I've mentioned already, we also were able to offer some educational opportunities for students. That included Finney County Health Department. We also did some screenings. Garden City Vision Source helps us out there. Genesis Dental does some dental screenings. We've also had different opportunities, educational opportunities that we've had to have people come in and educate our students. I mean, we'd start out in the fall with a Home Sweet Home. That's a home sickness. We have a lot of students here from all over the United States and international that we just want to get to know them.
As we're kind of looking at, coming to the end of this academic year and looking forward into next academic year, what would be some advice that you have for maybe new students that are looking at Garden City Community College or considering Garden City? What's some advice that you can give to them about the benefits of being a student at Garden City Community College?
The benefits here are you are immediately in a smaller community. You feel a part of right away. And I think that is a benefit because you get some individualized attention, and no matter what it is, if it's in the classroom, sports, academics, or in College Health, we're able to know you and get to know you as best we can, and I think that's something I would say is a good benefit and something that you should look forward to if you decide to come to a community college like Garden City Community College.
On behalf of Garden City Community College, thank you.
Thank you.